Hey guys, welcome back to RHR Jen. I'm so glad you're here. Guys, we need to talk. There is so much news coming out about Meghan and her as ever catastrophe, the latest one. And I want to jump in and talk about all of it because it's has to do with her candles and lack of wick. I'm already laughing because you're welcome for that title. Um, we can call them that now if you'd like. I'm down. But I want to talk about the lack of wick. I want to talk about another controversy of brewing about her wine as well and her website. It's just like every bad decision you could possibly make. That's what she's up to right now. If you're new here, I'm Jen. Make sure you're subscribed, hit the thumbs up, leave me comments, as all of those helps YouTube to recommend my videos. And I sincerely appreciate it. Thank you so much. And speaking of appreciated, I appreciate your feedback and lovely comments on the last video I did. If you missed it, I did my own parody of With Love Meghan, but mine's with laughter and titles Jen. I did my own Netflix, minus the Netflix part, holiday special. And so you'll just have to check that out. But let's talk about what's going on with these ridiculous games. I can't stop laughing about it. Candles have like three components, right? It's like the ceramic, the wax, the wick. She seems to have forgotten one of those. You had one job, basically. No wonder she went on and on about the packaging keeping her up, right? Because she paid no attention to the contents, it sounds like, because we've heard reports on the runny fruit spread that can't even be called jam, and now wickless candles. I mean, you cannot make this stuff up. And so let's talk about it. So shout out to Link Lauren. Link Lauren is a fellow YouTuber. He's also I believe he calls himself an influencer. I know he's got a presence on Instagram and TikTok and other places like that. So definitely check him out. But Daily Mail, what did I just say? Daily Mail is reporting that he was sent, and I believe he's reporting he was sent a candle, $64, just a reminder, not including shipping, tax, and all that stuff. And it did not come with a wick. Again, you had one job, Meghan, one job, did not come with a wick. So her fans, of course, are jumping to it saying, no, 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 you took it out. And I'm thinking, I have no skin in this game, but why would he lie? Some people are saying maybe for clicks, but no, there would be so much easier ways to be like, oh, it didn't arrive, or just to break it and say arrived broken. Again, the little bit I know about candles is the wick is usually attached with the metal, I don't know what you call it, the spoolie thing, whatever, at the bottom. So to get that sucker completely out of there, I don't even know how you would do that. What, break apart the wax, pull it out, and then remelt it perfectly? I don't believe it. I don't buy it. So I don't think he had any reason to make this up. And now there are more reports of people experiencing the same thing. So I want to talk about that because this is getting crazier. But according to the article, yeah, he received it sans the wick after spending $64 on the candle. Again, people are calling out saying, no, 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 you tampered with it. Here he is showing the product. I mean, again, I don't know anything about this, but if I just grab a candle, try to pull the wick out, you're going to see markings where I pulled it out. I don't believe he did. It looks pretty clean if you ask me. And again, I just don't see where he'd have any reason to lie. Because if found out, like, yeah, he might get some clicks on it, but I don't know. I just don't believe it. I don't believe that he lied about it. It seems like they screwed up. And again, rather than face the truth head on, that's what the squad does. They just attack people that are calling them out on their BS. So again, I'm not going to read all this. I'm just going to hit some highlights and lowlights because it goes into another issue going on. But so he was cracking up and saying that the wick was not pasted down, but missing entirely, as he asked the camera person to zoom in so the faulty candle could be seen clearly. So he was plugging his show. He uploaded a video showing him taking the candle out of its white box and captioned it, "I got Markled." I unboxed Meghan Markle's new candle. On my show today, there's no wick, kind of a metaphor for her career. Nothing's lighting. I thought that was pretty great. Again, I call you to notice my name. I think wickless and dickless. Yes, I'm just going to say it the one time. It's pretty funny for the two of them. I think it's pretty good. Yeah, so that's a pretty big deal. It sounds like Daily Mail reached out to both for comment. People are criticizing him, saying, "No, no, no, you mess with it." But others are saying, "What the heck? You're selling an unusable candle while joking the wick was sold separately." I thought that was pretty good. One person quipped, "Well, in these challenging economic times, if you watch Always Sunny, I I think Charlie said this. What in these challenging times?" What was he gosh, what was he even peddling at that? I don't know. I know my comments are gonna go nuts. Leave me in the comments. What was he can you spare, was it the egg? Was it when Frank was gonna give somebody an egg? I don't know. It doesn't matter anyway. I just hear Charlie's voice in my head, as I usually do, saying, "In these challenging, uncertain times." Anyway, so they're urging him to demand a refund while they're talking about him taking one for the team. It's the entire brand as a nutshell. Okay, so again, I promised you I wasn't going to read it all. I just want to show you some stuff. I wanted to give a shout out to Link for and go tell you to go watch his original content where he shows that. But look, so here is her as ever website showing the candle as ever. Okay, so clearly she happened to get a wick in her, so that's good. Okay, so at the bottom of the website, I was looking for, well, what do you do if you get a wickless candle or husband? I noticed at the bottom of the website, and I can't prove if this was, changed recently because I've been all over this website, but I can't say I look closely at it. So this may have always said this, but I find this wording so interesting. At the bottom, it says designed by Article, which is the website host, and it says, as ever, 2025, as ever Enterprises LLC, all rights reserved. Snow Commerce is the seller of all merchandise and is solely responsible for all aspects of your purchase. I thought that was interesting wording. Has that, chime in the comments if you know, has that been altered because of this you know what show? Or has that always said that? I'm very curious. Why would they be solely responsible for all aspects of your purchase? If I don't know, you got moldy jam, let's say. Why would Snow be responsible if she's pretending to make this stuff? Curious, right? I almost wonder if she's not. I know we know, but you know what I'm saying? Like, that's interesting wording if you ask me. It sounds like she's trying to pass the blame elsewhere. All right. And then, so when you go into, I went into frequently asked questions and I was trying to find, well, what do you do? So the closest I could find is if the item I purchased arrived damaged, what can I do? Well, they tell you to take a picture of it and email this info at asever.com along with your order number. Okay. That to me screams, and this is my opinion. Okay. My opinion is they must not have very many orders because why would you have people just email this random site? I know it's who it's sold through, but okay, if you're a big business, you're not just having people email you at whatever.com, asever.com with a picture of it. You're going to have more specific channels so people can return things. I'm trying to think of any example. I know most places have a storefront. She doesn't, but it doesn't matter. Like when I bought my desk, I'm looking down thinking about it. There was a big problem with it. I bought it through Home Depot. There's a big problem. I ended up having to return and get another. It was a whole thing. But at no point did they say, okay, send a picture to at Home Depot. I had to call my order number and stuff, but I had specific, I don't know what you call it, case manager or whatever that helped me through it and helped me get a refund and purchase another one. So it all worked out, but it was just like I think my point is anybody that does a reasonable or big amount of business is going to have more dedicated channels than, just email whomever. Okay. That just doesn't give you a lot of confidence as the buyer. So that's for damage. But then I had other people looking into, okay, returns. What do you do? They don't allow returns. Okay. But what if there's something wrong? Well, you can read here if there's something wrong, anything wrong with the received order, our service team is available 7 days a week from this time to that time, Eastern time, contacted through a form linked here. So I was like, okay, great. Let's look at that form. Wah, wah. Safari cannot open the page. Okay. So I thought it was just me. I had some friends do the same thing. Well, as you can imagine, everybody I've talked to that I've had look into this had similar. They either, depending on what browser you use, you had something that looked like this. And if you don't use Safari, you probably had something that looks like this. So, Sussex Squad, since you blindly defend Meghan without doing any actual research, give it a try. See if you can get the form to pop up. Because I can't get it to pop up. So, what are you supposed to do if you receive a wickless candle or this kind of, yeah, this kind of prints? What do you do? um what do you do? Because she's making it where you can't submit the you can't click on the link that you're supposed to click on. You're supposed to what, email this team, and it sounds like from the way I've understood it is Link has been working on trying to get in touch with his team and has had a fill in the blank of a time. So again, they're so it sounds like she's put all this work in, all this work, I'm saying that loosely. She's bragging about putting work into the packaging, none into the product itself. It sounds like a nightmare. And if there's the single bit of problem, you can't even do anything about it. You can't even report the problem. So, truly, what are you supposed to do? Just give up? I mean, honestly, that's what I always think with a lot of these companies, or even like, again, don't even get me started. I'll go on a whole soapbox, but like health insurance. And I know it's a problem everywhere, but specifically in America, I always think they send you these bills and just hope you'll pay them. Most people don't want to fight with this stuff, but you end up fighting and hoping that you get some money or get some money off or get some money back because you've been incorrectly charged. It's just a big old nightmare. So I just feel like I wonder if it's something like that. They just hope you'll pay it and deal with it. I don't know. It doesn't scream professional. And again, I'd like to remind you all that she shouted from the rooftops, what was it? She has a freakish eye for detail. Well, how's that working out for you, Meghan? Because there's another scandal going on that I want to talk about as well. That sure doesn't sound like you have a freakish eye for detail. Just saying. All right, let's take a look. The other thing going on, let's go back here. Okay, so this is not it, but I did want to draw your attention to it real quick. So I was looking on her Instagram to see, I don't know if there's any mention of anything. I knew there wouldn't be, but just to see, nope, everything is hunky dory, and she's showing all these people buying all this stuff, supposedly allegedly. Here's my thinking on this. So again, rather than spend some money to try to fix the problem or fix your faulty website or fix your what appears to me to be a faulty product, again, in my opinion, it seems to be that she's spending money having people advertise for her. That's what it appears to me. Maybe they're true fans, maybe they're not. Maybe it's Maybelline. I don't believe it. Just saying. And then I saw this one. I was like, are we pretending like this person, because this person had tagged it like, as ever makes me happy or brings me joy, whatever it says. I can't read that tiny writing. And I said, again, I was saying to my friends, I was like, are we supposed to believe that this person bought all this? And one of you brilliant flockers pointed out, no, Jen, that's the bookstore. That's that, why can I never remember hold on. Godmothers. Fairy godmothers? Godmothers. Bookstore. Okay, fair enough. But she's not specifying that on here. She's tagging. Okay, so what I mean is, again, I don't pretend to be an Instagram expert, so bear with me as I say the wrong things. But the way I understand this is As Ever has posted this and has this person right here tagged in it. So it's made to look like this person's just bought all this stuff because she's like, this stuff makes me happy. Again, I go back to the Target example. Target would be a little more obvious. Let's just say it's a smaller retailer. And I wouldn't, I mean, I don't know where I'm going with this, except for it seems like they're trying to pass this off as somebody bought all this. So again, I wonder aloud, just I'm wondering, did they throw money at people to try to get them to advertise for them rather than throwing money at, adding wicks in the candles? Okay, but then this godmother's thing brings up an interesting point because, again, thank you, friends of the channel, for letting me know. So many of you let me know that there's been a problem with again, allegedly, with the godmother's bookstore. And what's being alleged is, and it's here in Daily Mail, is that the bookstore is reportedly it's reported to counsel for serving As Ever wine without a license. Dun dun dun. So Megan allegedly used this thing as a pop-up, promotional pop-up, and didn't have a liquor license. So from what I'm understanding, that's a real big deal. You can't just serve liquor without the licensing to do so. So many things can go wrong. And again, the way I'm going to say allegedly, because I'm just coming in on this again, I was on vacation last week, but it sounds like it's a big deal if you can't just do that. There's so many factors, and if you get turned in, it's going to be a big deal. It can be a big deal for the business itself. So again, miss attention to detail. Nobody thought this out. So who's Megan going to blame for this? The bookstore? Because isn't that owned by her? Sorry, I just dropped my, hang on. I dropped something. I'm always fidgeting with my stuff under my desk. So I was playing with my ring and it fell off. Okay. But, I can do this really quick. Bear with me. Hold on. Who owns Godmother's bookstore? Okay, so yeah, it was Godmother's bookstore is owned by Jennifer Rudolph Walsh and Victoria Jackson, who are friends of Megan's. Hence the ability to have her stuff there and have these events there. In fact, I believe that's where she was when she recorded that interview recently, where I'm rolling my eyes. Remember, ate a hamburger. Who cares? Anyway, it was such a cringe interview. But again, I believe that was at that same bookstore, if I have that correct. So she's had a couple events there. She has ties to this place. So I wonder, how's that going to shake out? Who's going to be blamed for this? The bookstore? Some assistant? Like, who is, I would say, Miss Attention to Detail probably should have thought that out before serving wine. Did the bookstore authorize this? Did she just take it on her own and say, here you go? How does that work? But interesting. I'm curious to see what happens. I'm just thinking about As Ever and how she just keeps making every wrong move she possibly can. As ever, every misstep, as ever. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on all this. What do you think about the Wick? Are you hearing about it from other sources? Is this the first time you've heard about it? Meaning not just from me, I mean, like, have other people faced this? Or I'm sure not many people here are buying them. Have you heard of other people saying similarly? What are your thoughts on the squad accusing Link of tampering with it? I just don't feel like I feel like that's just what the squad does. They never want to face the truth. They just go after anything else to deflect, as per usual. What are your thoughts on this godmother thing? Do you think that there will be some consequences as a result of that, let me know in the comments below. That's going to do it for me. I really appreciate you being here. Do me a favor and do go watch this with laughter and titles, because it was a lot of fun. It's a completely different video for me. And I decorate my office. I found some really cool ornaments. I had some laughs about her Netflix special. I have some ideas for some more things I'm going to do behind me in future episodes. So definitely check that out. But yeah, I'm dying to know your thoughts on all of this in the comments. As always, as ever, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Let me know your thoughts on all of this. I can't wait to read them. And yeah, if you want to further support, check out the merch. I've got Everything's Fine. I've got Team Catherine and so much more. And then check out my Patreon. This is where I want to give a big shout out to my Patreon peeps. Thank you so much. I finally got my act together. Thank you so much for being patient while I was coming back from vacation. I've got my list up to date. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting. Thank you to everybody who joined while I was away. I really appreciate that. And thank you to all my executive geese and ganders. But if you're interested, I'm covering the Victoria Beckham show over there. So check that out. Having a lot of fun doing that. You talk about an engaging show. That is an engaging show. I really am enjoying it. And I cover so much more. I have hundreds of videos over there, tons of bonus content. If you're not sick of me yet, well, go watch me over there. You will be sick of me. That's patreon.com/Real Housewives Recaps. And I really appreciate it. I can't wait to bring you more stuff like that. Also, I do plan to get back on the Goose Adventures channel. In case you don't know, let me see if I have that right here. Bear with. Hang on. Sorry, I usually have this ready to go. I do. Okay. So this is Goose Adventure right here. And it is where I'm showing my weight loss. If you're new here, I recently lost over 140 pounds. I think it's much more than that now, but over 140 pounds. And I'm showing my befores, my afters, what I ate, what I'm doing to lose the weight. Tips, tricks, hacks, things like that. You can find it all over there if you're interested. Goose Adventures. And I'm going to go back to posting over there. I'd taken 2 weeks off again for vacation. So I'm going to go back to posting very soon over there. And that's going to do it for me. Thanks so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And I'll talk to you guys again soon. Take care. Bye-bye. Hi, how are you guys? Oh my God. I cannot stop laughing about this. First of all, this name cracked me up. I love it. I think it's so good for them. If you hear another YouTuber using it, you say Jen did that. But that really gave me a laugh, and I love it. And what else? Just the idea that there are like, I thought I had one near me. I don't. There are like 3 components to a candle, right? It's the ceramic that it's in, it's the wax, and it's the wick. And I know you have to mix stuff in there, but come on, at base level, that's what we're working with here. She forgot the wick. It's a third of the candle. It's like her bottle of wine, but she forgets to put the wine in it. What are we doing? I would say it's like Harry forgetting a braid, but we'll let you use your judgment on that one. But I just made me laugh. Just like, oh my gosh, that is just too funny. And again, just so like her squad, instead of admitting that something could be wrong with it, they decide to attack the people that are saying, hey, something's really wrong here. And we can't get help because we're out $64 plus tax, shipping, all that stuff. Absolutely ridiculous. All right. So the other name I thought about for them was Wick-less and witless, which I think also applies. But if you stay tuned this long, I want you to leave me a comment. Let me know what you would name them. Of course, we have Hank and Skank, Dumb and Dumberton, things like that. But if you want to do something around candles or anything else, let me know in the comments below. I really appreciate it. And I really can't wait to bring you more stuff like this as they do crazy things. I'm going to talk about it. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, what do you think? I love this shirt. Can you see it? I think it's so fun and so cute. And it's got this detail on the sleeves, which is so fun, but it's cut like this and it just kind of goes down. I just thought it's so cute. What do we think? Let me know in the comments. I just thought it's fun. My hair's on top of it, but you get the idea. There you go. All right, that's going to do it for me. Thanks so much. I hope you had the best day. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye. My ring's about to go flying by. Take care. Bye.